When I did my so-called life back in the 90s, feels like another century ago, I met Russell Roybal. And Russell was working at the task force at the time. I don't even know what his position was at the time. And we met when he was working at the center, and then he moved over to the task force. And in 2000, I received a leadership award in DC, which was, I don't even think it was called the Leadership Awards then. I don't even remember what it was. And I got to know a lot about the organization and the work, and what excited me about it was the fact that the task force was doing all of the hard work, you know, all of the heavy lifting. And and through the years, I've always felt like that's what the task force was doing, that there were other organizations that did very good work and did the job of visibility and got our message out. But as far as the, you know, nuts and bolts grassroots work that was necessary in order to advance our cause, I felt like it was the task force that was really doing all of that work. So, I mean, I have a long and loving relationship with the task force. I like to say that I was the child that the task force birthed, since we were born right about the same time. So I live, you know, I have lived in a world that the task force has created for me. So in many ways, I feel like I have to give back. You know, it was really moving to have that experience and to see people from my generation in such large numbers committed to a cause that's very dear to me, obviously. And so I felt, in many ways, after I left there, I felt like at least I wasn't doing this alone. Not that I ever felt like I was doing it alone, but I felt like I had an army of people behind me. That year at the task force was transformative for me, just in the sense that I felt like we were in good hands as far as the generation that was coming along in order to do the kind of work that needed to be done. I took home a message which we needed at the time, and we didn't even know how badly we needed it, because it was, we were coming up on an election, Bush's, I can't even say it, re-election, yeah. Which I still haven't forgiven the country for. And you know, it could have been really debilitating for me. I worked hard on that campaign, and but I felt like I was reassured in the sense that no matter what happened in that election, that there was a large contingency of young people who were coming behind us, who were going to really change the world, and they have. You know, as an activist per se, I'm coming in as an artist, you know, the other part of me. And to be at Creating Change as an artist and have a message of love as transformation, and how we can transform ourselves and our relationships and our community and our politics, really, through the way we love. In my own experience in that, in the last 10 years, and you know, using my own experience as an example of, you know, where I was 10 years ago and where I am today and how I got there. Because I think that we do all of this work in Creating Change and in the year before it, and we do all this work around our movement and our politics. And I think we forget to talk about love. I think we forget to talk about why we're fighting for all of that, and why we're fighting so hard. And so I want to bring it back in the end, at the end of the conference, and talk about love, which sounds really simplistic, but I think in the end is what we need to be focused on.